Hey guys, it's Dr. May. How are you? I want to show you stuff about what they call mindset today and talking about the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. And I specifically want to talk about how we could apply this to our personal growth and treatment. It's been used in a variety of different areas. It's been discussed by a woman named Carol Dweck and researched by her. But I see a lot of links to how we could use it ourselves in our personal lives. So I really wanted to tell you guys about this one. All right, here we go. It's a little like a dialectic. Okay, and it's very similar to the DBT concepts of willfulness and willingness. So the fixed mindset's a little like willfulness and the growth mindset's a little like willingness, but there's a lot of different components to both sides. So I'm going to talk about one by one how each one looks with different concepts. Okay, this is related also to the middle path and change skills. So as we try to change, it's important to foster a growth mindset rather than a fixed mindset. And as we go through, you'll see more about why. Okay, so the first area they talk about is intelligence. Okay, so in terms of treatment, I would say like knowledge of yourself, knowledge of coping skills, knowledge of DBT, for example. So if you have a fixed mindset, you might think, well, I don't know, this stuff is too hard. There's so much material. I don't know if I really get it. Or, you know, my therapist keeps talking about such and such, and I don't know, it's way too much for me. And I just don't know this stuff, right? So that's more of a fixed mindset. So either I'm good at it or I'm not, or I know it or I don't, right? I'm good at this therapy or I'm not good at this at all and I'm failing at a treatment, so to speak. But a growth mindset is saying, well, okay, maybe I don't know that much right now, but it's still possible for me to learn more, right? So if I keep engaging with the material, asking questions, reading up some more, watching more videos, I'll learn more, and then I will be better at this treatment. I will understand DBT better. I will understand myself better, right? So it's opening the door to improvement, okay? So growth mindset is like knowing that it's possible for me to grow and get better, okay? So very similar, learning. Okay, so the fixed mindset is sticking to what you know and not interested in more learning. So I have people tell me, yeah, you know, I've been through DBT before, or, you know, I've been to therapists before, I've been to this stuff, and this is just not for me. I already learned that stuff and it doesn't work, right? So the shutting the door, keeping it locked, so to speak. Growth mindset is like, you know what? I really don't know it all yet. I've learned some stuff, but I see that there's more to learn, right? And trust me, I've been doing DBT since 2001, and I still feel like there's more to learn. And every time I go through the skills, I feel like I understand them in a different way. And there's always so many new ways to apply them and to understand how they could fit into my life, to other people's lives. So coming in thinking you already learned this or you already know it is always a mistake. And you're depriving yourself of all the possibilities for getting to know it even better. Okay, so next, effort. So fixed mindset is kind of like, you know what, my effort doesn't really pay off. I've tried this already, I put in the effort and I don't see big results yet, so why bother? And you know, I partly blame our society for this because we're very instant gratification centered. You know, there's so many instant things that we're used to with our technology and just fast food and fast this and fast ordering online. And if we don't get results right away, we get very frustrated, right? But with ourselves, sometimes it really does take time. You know, it took a long time for us to get screwed up, and it takes a long time for us to get better. And sometimes if we ignore the little hints of progress, we think the effort isn't worth it. However, on the growth mindset side, we realize that effort does pay off. It's a path to mastery, right? And you need to know that even if it's slow, if you really pay attention, you'll notice some little signs of progress. And it's always pays to know that something is better than nothing, that a little bit of improvement is better than zero improvement. And if you keep reminding yourself of your successes, even small ones, and you kind of build upon that, you'll see that the effort starts to pay off. Another thing is that it could be that you could be directing your effort in the wrong direction. So it pays to work with somebody to help point you in the right direction. Because if you try really hard on the wrong thing, you may not see the results. So we have to have smart effort, so to speak. Okay, so make sure you're getting feedback about how your effort is applying for you. Okay, so obviously, as you've probably seen in different memes and diagrams, that progress isn't a straight line, right? It's never a smooth sail to the finish line. Always this stuff that comes up. And I almost think of it like a video game, like as sometimes using skills, it's like level one, like it's super easy. I'm in a good mood. The situation isn't too stressful. Wow, this skill worked really great for me today, right? Other times, my mood is much more intense. The stressors are much more intense. The people around me are much more difficult. And it's super hard to deal with skills, right? It's much more challenging. So the idea is to, keep going. On a fixed mindset, you might say, well, it's just too hard. I'm going to avoid as many situations as possible where it feels challenging because it's just like overwhelming to me. I don't think I could do it. Growth mindset says, you know what? Oh, good. I'm glad this challenging thing came up. It's an opportunity for me to practice skills in this challenging situation. And maybe I'll learn from it. Maybe I'll get better at it, right? So I see challenge as a way to make myself better rather than something that's like a big brick wall in my way going, oh, crap, right? So it's just a different view of the same kind of thing. Okay, kind of related to that, obstacles. So I almost see as obstacles closer to being like a relapse. So like, let's say I was doing well for a while, I was avoiding my target behaviors and I was seeming to make some progress, and then something happened and I messed up. Okay, let's say I did my target behavior again, or I relapsed on a substance that I haven't used in a while, right? So you have two choices now. One is to say, oh, forget this. Ugh, it's just too hard. I give up. Obviously, I can't do this. And on the fixed mindset side, just kind of give up and see myself as a failure and be filled with shame about messing up and everything. However, on the growth side, I could say, you know what? Failure is part of the learning process. What can I learn from this failure? How can I do a behavior chain analysis to figure out what went wrong this time so that next time I could insert more skills in there and have a different outcome? I'm glad this happened because now I learned something different I never would have learned otherwise, right? So that's more of a growth mindset, using the obstacles as an opportunity rather than something that's going to really just get in your way, okay? And don't give up, as it says there. Okay, so feedback and criticism, all right? So if you're in treatment, there's a professional or professionals who are going to be giving you feedback about how you're doing. And if you're in a group, you probably are with group members that are giving you feedback. Or if you're on an online forum writing in a question, you're going to get feedback from other people. Or if you're talking to your friends about your issues, you're going to get feedback from people. So the important thing is to have a growth mindset and try to learn from it. Try to, sift through what they're telling you, take it into consideration, and see if it could benefit you. Because we do have blind spots. If we could figure it all out ourselves, we would have done it already, right? So people do have things to offer us. They see things in us that we don't always see. So if we are in the fixed mindset and we ignore feedback, or we fight it all the time, or we quote unquote wrong spot, trying to find everything wrong about what people are saying, it's going to keep us much more stuck. It'll be a lot harder for us to grow and move forward in our life, right? So try to listen to it, take it into account, be open, be willing, right? For more info about this, check out my video about feedback. It goes through this in a lot more detail. Okay, another thing is the success of others. So if we're in a fixed mindset, we're much more likely to, be stuck with feelings of envy and maybe want to ruin other people's success because they're more successful than us. And it's not fair that they're succeeding and I'm not. So I might as well screw it up for them so we're on a level playing field, right? So that envy kind of gets involved, or we feel threatened by their success, like somehow their succeeding makes my progress seem like less than, and I judge myself. So that could kind of get in the way of my growth, right? If I'm very focused on that comparison with other people and taking it to mean something bad about me. But in the growth mindset, I might know that, everyone's progress is in a different pace. Everyone has their own journey, and it's not fair for me to compare my speed of progress with somebody else's because we're both unique individuals. But what I can do is maybe try to learn from their success. So try to figure out what did they do that worked, and can I try that myself instead of, blowing off what they did or ignoring it because it makes me so uncomfortable, right? Allow it to inspire you rather than hinder you. Okay, and finally, they talk about embracing the power of yet. So this is all about the growth mindset and keeping the door open. So when you realize that, I don't know it all yet, or I'm making some improvements, but I'm not there yet, at least it gives you the sense of like, it's possible. If I keep working on it and I keep staying open and I keep trying despite obstacles, it can happen for me. So it keeps the hope alive, right? So the yet prevents us from getting into a very limiting victim mindset and keeps us open to a growth mindset. Okay, so what I finally want to show you is, if you're interested in learning more about this from the woman who actually invented it, this is Carol Dweck. She does have a TED Talk that's pretty good where she focuses on this concept of yet. And she also has a very good book called Mindset, which I have read, and it's very good. And it talks about how you can use these concepts in a variety of different areas of life, okay? So I hope you'll apply this to yourself and use these concepts to enhance your treatment and enhance your personal growth to keep you on the right track and prevent yourself from getting in your own way. All right, well, thanks guys for listening, and I'll see you soon. All right, bye.